career. Taking the Chartered Financial Analyst CFA exam and studying the curriculum is an excellent way to ensure you have a strong knowledge base and top-notch skills. Are you ready to take the bold step to invest in yourself? CFA Society Nigeria is at your disposal, promoting the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria. As an affiliate of CFA Institute, CFA Society Nigeria seeks to promote the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria and to provide a vibrant community in which its members and other key players in the investment industry can interact and grow. When you have the CFA charter, you're globally recognized. Take advantage today by writing the CFA exam and joining us at CFA Society Nigeria. For more information, visit us at cfasocietyn.org. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money. We are professionals. We are impact driven. We are CFA Society Nigeria, a member society of the CFA Institute Global Network of Societies. Our mission is to promote the highest standard of practice in the Nigerian financial services industry and provide a vibrant community for our members. The CFA Charter signals the holder's commitment to professional excellence. As thought leaders, we collaborate with stakeholders to ensure adherence to ethical standards, better education for professionals, and to build market integrity. We are the leading voice for advocacy in the finance and investment industry in Nigeria. To partner with us or become our member, visit us at cfasocietyn.org for more details. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Hello everyone and welcome to Money Talks. Money Talks is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. It's a financial literacy program that is meant to keep you well informed as far as finances are concerned. Today on the program we have a Nigerian. I have to warn so that you don't think like I thought. We have a Nigerian, a full-blooded Nigerian on the program, Osei Anao, CFA. Osei possesses over a decade of experience in the financial services sector and is a chartered accountant and a chartered finance analyst charter holder. He is currently the head of financial, regulatory, and subsidiary reporting at Standard Chartered Bank Nigeria and doubles as the head of finance at Standard Chartered Capital and Advisory Nigeria. Before joining Standard Chartered Bank Nigeria, Osei was the financial controller at All On, an impact investment company established by Shell Petroleum Development Company Limited to catalyze the growth of sustainable off-grid energy solutions in Nigeria. He has also held various positions at Union Bank of Nigeria, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and United Bank for Africa. He is also a volunteer in the advocacy committee of CFA Society Nigeria. The man whose name sounds Ghanaian but is fully Nigerian, Osei Anao, CFA, is our guest on the program. Good evening to you, Osei, and good to see you.
Hi, everyone.
When I saw your name, I wanted to start saying Akwaba, but thank you.
I'm not sure why you're trying to dilute my West African influence.
This is really an African name, actually. Good to see you. Osei and I will be talking about banking as an enabler of economic activities in the society. Again, you heard there, banking as an enabler of economic activities in the society. That's our subject of discussion on the program this evening. We'll get to it in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to the program. Just to let you know that we're live on Instagram at Captain Smart 007, so you can go there and join the conversation live at Captain Smart 007. You can also go to the CFA Society website, www.cfasocietyng.org, and get more information. So we're talking banking today as an enabler of economic activities in the society. You can call on the telephone when we open the phone lines in just a moment. 0700 923 923 923. That's 0700 923 923 923. Or you can send us a message on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193. So that's how you can join the program this evening. But so let's start this conversation really. I want to ask you, because when we talk about banks, we see them with their flashy cars, beautiful buildings. You go into the offices, looks exquisite. And some persons might just be asking, these banks are waiting be their work. What's their work? And how does pressing computer inside office translate to, making all the kind of money we hear that they have? And how do they actually support their customers and aid the economy?
My brother, the flashy cars and flashy suits is a facade. That's why I joined banking. We go here and we're wearing coats, French suits. But it's okay. Banks exist primarily as a custodian of money first. So while holding your money, they can help you do other activities like pay for DSTV, move money to your relatives, and while you have a good banking relation, we can say, okay, you know what, you've shown stability, inflows, and we can then give you loans. Your loans could be personal loans to buy a car, buy flashy suits and a flashy car. Or
they give you loans to buy suits?
Sure, it just depends on the collateral you bring in. Well, banks do give personal loans.
Personal loans.
Okay. The idea behind personal loans is we're not really trying to find out what you are trying to do with the loan. We just care that you have a good standing in society and you have a potential to pay back, right? But although they are project-specific loans, that's when you're trying to maybe bring in cars or bring in equipment for a business. So then we'll do more due diligence. So largely, to summarize, banks would custody of money, facilitate services like payments, transfers, and lending primarily.
So banks can actually approach a customer to say, we want to give you money.
Sure. So again, banks are an enabler, right? The idea is if you by yourself are able to do 10 with 1 naira, we believe that if we support you, you may do 100. And thereby increase profits, employ more staff, pay more tax, which basically is better for the whole society.
So why do people now say it's difficult to get money from banks? These banks, when you go there, especially when you're trying to start a business newly, they don't want to assist, like especially startups.
I wouldn't say banks don't want to assist. The reality of life is, if I popped up from nowhere and I told you, borrow me 10 million naira, right? Would you?
I would think twice.
Exactly. So for a bank to borrow you money or assist you, you have to have existed somewhere. You have to have history, have audited sets of accounts that we can see, be a good member, have a good standing in society. Then we'll support you. Banks are not in the business of losing money. At a minimum, it's a capital business. So idea is you maximize shareholder wealth, at a minimum preserve, not lose. Now, me borrowing money to a stranger is basically just gambling it away.
So we see there are different kinds of banks. So I want you to let us into it now. Like the commercial banks or the money deposit banks, that it should be called. You have the microfinance banks and even the merchant banks there. Can you tell us the major differences amongst them?
So funny enough, fun fact is most of us should be dealing with microfinance banks, because microfinance banks, I'm going to go down, that's bank that's close to you for micro lending and SMEs. But in Nigeria, it's quite the other way around. People just run straight to commercial banks. Now let's pick a typical tomato seller. All right. So as I explain our journey through the financial system, then we'll talk about the different tiers of banking. So first tier I'd like to talk about is microfinance bank. So you have 3 licenses here. You have units, state and national. Unit means for a local government. Right. State means this microfinance bank can have multiple locations in that state. then national means you can be in multiple states. So a tomato seller, right, in
Mile 12 market.
Mile 12, fantastic, right? So she is going to deal on the local government level. Now, the microfinance bank now has the personnel to go to the markets, help her count her proceeds, and roll her on an application, and say, okay, mommy, this is how you calculate revenue. You need to bring it to the banking hall, or I will send an agent to you every day. Just give him the money. Mommy, don't worry. He will speak Yoruba to you at that level in a way that mommy can understand. Now, the idea is if she's being enabled by a bank, right, she'll be able to do more. Her transactions will be transparent. She will pay tax. The microfinance bank can see her turnover and increase lend more to her so that she can do more. Now, the point is, at some point, right, she may outgrow a microfinance bank, right, and say, you know what, I need a bigger bank that can give me more. But if she has managed the microfinance bank relationship well, you find out that by the time she's coming to a UBA, she already has a long history of transactions. She already has sets of financials because the microfinance bank has helped her work with that. But you can't expect UBA to deal with Mile 2 at that level. It just won't work. So I think the problem in Nigeria is the licenses are not well described. So people we struggle because that's just the way I can explain it, really.
It's like having malaria and going to a teaching hospital.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a what do we call it? Health center?
Health center.
Today we say health center. So let me go to. I haven't touched on merchant banks. So merchant banks really are for high net worth individuals. So they'll tell you that they accept deposits just like other banks, but I think from is it 100 million or so.
Wow.
Exactly. So those ones can do anything. It's like if you're a high net worth individual, we expect you to be smart enough. So they can lend, they can do investment banking services and all those things. While commercial banks and microfinance banks are regulated. So you find out that they can only take deposit money and lend. They can't do investment banking activities. They can't do capital raising. They can't do any of those things. But merchant banks can do all those things. That's what the difference is.
Okay, talking about banking now, it does appear as though telecommunication companies, even they are now coming into this particular space with what they call the PSBs, the payment service banks. How are they different from, say, what microfinance banks are doing? Because you see them establishing these, in fact, they reach more people now than even the money deposit banks themselves. Are they banks now?
No. So that license only allows you to receive deposit, withdraw, and do transfers. You can't lend. That's the key thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So even from a profitability perspective, banks have the potential to make more money because you can make more money from giving out loans. But PSBs can't lend, at least for now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for them to lend, they'll have to maybe upgrade to a different type of license. Yeah.
Okay, that's very key. You can join the conversation here, 0700-923-923-923. That's the number to call. If you have questions or you have a contribution to make here, we're talking about banking as an enabler of economic activities in the society. You can ask questions. Osei Anao, CFA, is my guest on the program, and the number to call 0700-923-923-923. That's 0700-923-923-923, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp 0817-313-6193. You can also send us a voice note to that number. Anything banking related or clarifications you may want around banking, you can ask Osei, who is an astute banker. He will be providing the answers to those questions. And of course, we want to navigate your way to how a bank can enable you to do one or two things. This is the right place to do that. So say, as of March 2023, that's earlier this year, it was reported that there are over 57 million unique bank verification numbers. That's what they call BVN here in Nigeria. Considering that over 93 million people registered to vote, why are there not more BVN holders than we currently have?
I think largely a large part of the population suffers from financial literacy. So you still have a lot of people. So people that would, maybe the aboki on my street that sells carrots. He will have a voter's card, but not necessarily think it's necessary to have a bank account. Yeah, but although that's changing, so you find out that cashless policy that commenced in October or November last year, that started to change because I started to see that the cabbage seller, they now do transfers. Right, so that wasn't happening before. But the truth of the matter is, it's just down to financial literacy at the end of the day. But I mean, it's not. CBN has done a lot of work. So you find out that there are a lot of, you will have agency banking licenses. Hence, those fintech licenses that they came up with, even this one that you mentioned, PSB, is basically to dip in the penetration of banking services to that level, such that at some point in time, we have sufficient BVNs to, just as much BVNs as voters cards, if not more.
Okay, talking about loans again, we have to go back there now. There are lots of people who are now all over the place, even on the internet. They tell you that you can just get a loan. You don't need to leave the comfort of your home. From inside a bus, you can get a loan from inside a molue. You could just press in your phone and all of that. So the question is, why is it more difficult, or it appears to be more difficult, to get a loan from regular banks, like the money deposit banks, than from these loan apps that people call loan sharks sometimes, though they charge higher and they deal with people very well, but still they're the easiest to get loans from. Why is that? Okay,
to respond to you, as an individual, right, would you rather go to an institution that says will give you interest of 20%, or go to an organization that tells you will charge you interest of 40%?
Well, people consider availability sometimes.
Fantastic. Now, what will make you borrow money at 40%? Desperation.
Yeah, desperation, or maybe sometimes emergency, even though they know they are not going to be able to pay back. Great. But let me just collect it first.
Fantastic. You're answering my question by yourself. So the reality of life is this. Banks ask for KYC as expected. We're regulated by CBN largely, and so we have standards to meet. They will ask for KYC. And those loan sharks some of them are state licensed. There's no regulation, is poor there. So nobody's going to ask them for what KYC documents did you see. And at the minimum, as a bank, you don't want to lose money. And you find out now, case in point, these loan sharks now, how are they faring now that it's Jackpot? Very simple. A lot of people have taken money, funded candidate application, have disappeared. Now, a bank would ask you for employment history, reach out to your employer, does he work here? Even what cadre are you? They'll ask you for all this information to help them come up with a more informed decision. A loan shark will just ask you one or two questions and disburse money to you. And so you need to actually be very careful with all these loan sharks, because many of them are not bankers, right? So it's very risky where you have non-bankers do bank work. It can cause a contagion, which is what we're likely seeing in the next couple of months. You'll just be seeing non-performing loans everywhere because of Jackpot.
So how come they're willing to part with money very easily?
And so again, these loan applications, right? Some of them are. What tends to happen is you have sales agents that desperately have targets. If it's VC or private equity.
Okay, we'll have a call on the line. Okay. Hello, good evening to you.
Good afternoon, Captain Smart.
Thank you so much for calling.
My name is Mechanic John, sir.
Welcome, sir.
First, I want to thank your guest for the analysis of all he's saying. But it's very unfortunate that our banks in Nigeria, it is when somebody's progressing, they want to come and say, yes, come and bank with us. But other parts of the world, I had an opportunity of being the bank in the UK once. I was just there to do one or two things, and they asked me, man, why are you here? I told them, look, I just came for one or two discussions. They said, can we give you some loan? I told them, I just stay in the UK and I have to leave. The point is, where people, how much have our banks assisted the SMEs? Sometimes you talk of records. When you are good, records are fine. Which of these banks are able to come to the customers, if not the oil and gas business, which is putting everybody into confusion today? How many times have some of these banks go to their customers to ask, what is your problem? Where can we help? And what do we do to help you? Well, it's unfortunate that I don't want to criticize again. But our banks should look at the possibility, the loan should always assist people. And the banks should assist, not waiting until when their money is big and when they fall, nobody can listen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mechanic John. Thank you so much. 0700 923 923 923. Yes, you can call. You have difficulties obtaining loans from banks, or you have issues with loan sharks, so those loan apps. You want to ask questions or clarifications, phone lines are open now, 0700-923-923-923, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp, 0817-313-6193. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Captain Smart.
Good evening to you, madam. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Osei. I can't remember the...
Yeah, you got it right.
Osei from Ghana, that's fine.
Okay, thank you for the enlightening session. But I'm struggling to see how banks help businesses. Like the first caller said, they only come when you are made. Yeah, I understand the fact that they also want to protect themselves because of history and all that. But I just see bankers as want to open that account, they close that and they move on. Even your account officer doesn't do anything to help you in any way. And then my other problem is that even when you have grown and you're qualified to take loan, the interest rate is something else. So how does that help us in any way? Thank you.
Thank you very much. You two can get in touch, 0700-923-923-923, or you can just send us a message on WhatsApp, 0817-313-6193. So say you can go with the two questions very quickly.
Wow. You open the phone lines and people are coming with swords and guns.
Okay, let's take it third and maybe a fourth. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you for calling. Please turn down the volume on your radio. If you're calling, please do well to turn down the volume on your radio. 0700-923-923-923. Okay, so let's go with it.
Okay. I believe most of the questions revolve around.
So sorry. These calls keep coming in. Okay.
Yeah, I believe both questions revolve around the inability of banks to, undesirability of banks to want to support or lend. Banks are designed to make profit, right? So where there is an opportunity, we would lend. Now, if we perceive the risk is too much, then we would not lend. At the end of the day, what tends to happen is I see a lot of people come to commercial banks with inadequate documentation. You're asking for 10 million. You have no audited accounts. We can't see your trail anywhere. It's even you would not borrow your neighbor 10 million naira if the person has no history of employment. Now that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we should have engaged on the microfinance bank level. Like banking, commercial bank is where it's kind of where you are put together already. We assume that you have audited accounts, you have a history, but if you don't have all those, you should maybe engage at the micro level. Now, that aside, I don't. There's no bank that doesn't want to make money first. Now, let me go a bit technical. Like, the most profitable thing I can do as a bank is lend. So ask yourself this question: why am I running from lending? Very simple. The example from the individual, the gentleman that went to UK. If you don't service your credit card if you take a loan in UK, you don't pay back. What happens to you? You can't pay for debt. Your life is miserable. Here, I can give you money and I'll see you in Vertigo tomorrow. And you look at me in the club and walk away and nothing will happen. Now, again, I think where the gap here is government has not come to put recourse for people that default. Now, sometimes you have AMCON struggling to convert collateral after how many years? Why? Now, if there was recourse, the judiciary was fast to act, the bank will give you money overnight because we need to make profit. It's a capital business.
That's right. So 0700-923-923-923. If you have difficulties getting money from banks, you can call. We have a banker sitting here. He has an explanation. If he had too much, he will give you the money, sir.
Oh boy.
0700-923-923-923, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp 0817-313-6193. So this thing you're talking about, or say somebody takes money and they're not able to pay, that's a dispute already.
Yes.
So when these disputes arise, because they will surely they will arise, between a bank and a bank customer, can you tell us how that customer might go about resolving the issue satisfactorily and whether the bank can shut the person down? Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you so much for calling. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Osei. Yeah, I'll go with the name Captain Smart.
We'll pay you. All right.
Yeah, Captain Smart.
Quickly, we have 30 seconds. Yes.
A very sensitive question. Yeah, please. I have a dispute currently with one of my banks, and I want to know how to go about resolving it. Now, they threw loan at me, which I took to get a facility, and I had done some sort of repayment before that employment was terminated. I now wrote to this bank, look, this thing has been terminated. Can they pause this transaction or what? Because it's a monthly debit stop. And they acknowledged the letter and stamped it. And going back to go and resolve it, I'm seeing a skyrocketed debt that I'm owing. I'm not paying this. I wrote to you guys, so why you? So I don't have to go about it. Because every day is mounting, and I'm not paying this. Okay, let me pay the principal. Then we'll now discuss on how to pay on the interest. Nobody's saying anything.
Okay, Louis, thank you. Okay, you see, that's what we're talking about. So he has a dispute now.
Okay, Louis, there are two ways largely. The rule is when you write to a bank and you don't get a response within 2 weeks, you can then write to CBN directly. So CBN maintains a customer complaint register where they can force banks to do the right thing. So you can do that, or you have independent consultants that will help you fight the case. You may pay them, or the money may come out from the money that the bank may bear the liability sometimes, depending on the arrangement. Yeah, so those are largely the two avenues that you have. But they're usually sure avenues. I've seen these avenues yield results a lot of times.
Really? Okay. 0700-923-923-923, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp 0817-313-6193. There are incidences before we go to this last question here, where people open accounts in the bank, they sit in their homes, and people are taking money from their accounts. I have a practical example. Last week, somebody called this program. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Smart. Good evening.
Thank you for calling. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Philip, and I'm calling you from Victoria Island.
Philip, there's 30 seconds. Use it wisely.
Okay, fine. Quickly, I want to ask this. I don't know why the banks in Africa or Nigeria where I reside don't educate us that banking is beyond just loaning money and collecting money. Because now he said something that they are not in the business of losing money, or you are in the business of collecting money from everybody. Most of them are not even economically sound on how to use their money. That's why they bank the money. You not train them that your money can be put in use. Money is not meant to be in the bank idle, like you guys use their money. I believe you should open up the banking is the banking space is underutilized. You guys are just here to take money from the society, which is even what is corrupting the African community, because this money is not put in use.
Okay.
Money is not meant to be idle.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're out of time. We just have 45 seconds to respond to that, to say somebody said banks don't want people to be millionaires. That when you have 1 million in your account, the bank will debit you with 45 kobo to make sure that you are not a millionaire. Once they just see money, there's one bank I have. Anytime they see money in my account, they will send me one thing: electronic transfer fee, or they will say card maintainer, card that is in my pocket, just so that I don't answer millionaire. Very quickly, 30 seconds.
I feel the same way too. They've been holding my millionaire dream for a while too. But okay, the last question. We all have to be extra vigilant. Personal story: they actually hacked my own account in January this year. I misplaced my phone. Never misplace your phone. Rule of the game. Most banking apps can be undone just from your phone. Wow. All they will do is uninstall your phone, uninstall the banking app, reinstall it. They will set up your PIN, and guess all those things will drop as OTP, either your email or as text message, and they've gotten into your account. Wow. So, advise you: number one, do not misplace your phone. 2, do not share your PIN. 3, do not funny websites. Don't go. The whole world right now, there's hunger in the land. Nobody's smiling.
Oh wow! I think we have to bring Osei another time. Mr. Yemi, this is the second person you have to bring a second time. We have run out of time, and I'll say thank you so much for coming to Money Talks today. Osei Anao, CFA, we appreciate you. Thank you for your time. You really have to come a second time. This issue, especially the last question from the last caller, we have not answered it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Especially I'm running from my life for that last question.
We're back next week, Monday at 4:30. Join us at that time. Stay tuned for Alpha Club.
Okay.
It's